We've got our square tabletop. We want to dress this up. We want to give it a little bit of pizzazz, as I've said before. And the way we're going to do that is with a router. And you've seen the router in action on previous videos. Now we're going to actually apply it to our workpiece. So you have a couple options. You got a bunch of different varieties of router bits that you can use, okay, depending upon what kind of shape you want the edge to have on your workpiece. You also have the option of where you want that to be cut. Do you want the router portion to be on top, or do you want the router portion to be on the bottom? I think on this particular case, I actually want the router profile to be on the underside of this tabletop. I think it's going to look nice. It's going to give it a little bit lighter feel and look a little less boxy. Now, if you're going to route the top, you just simply go ahead and route your way around using the bit that you want. Because I want this on the bottom, I need to obviously take the top back off. So I'm going to flip this over. And before I take the router off, I want to do one really, really important thing. I'm going to take a pencil and I'm going to mark the tabletop and one rail so that I can get these two back into alignment later. I already have the screws in, okay, so that should help, but this will get me there a little bit faster. So I've marked the inside on the bottom of the top and the inside of one of my upper long rails, and now I can go ahead and take these screws out real quick. And we'll just get this out of the way. All right. So I'm going to route the underside here. I've got my workpiece on a mat, so it's not going to move on me. Okay, now because I'm routing directly on the table here, I've got a couple of things that I need to be aware of. Okay, with the router, remember we have the pilot that needs to follow the edge of the workpiece. What I need to do is make sure that I do not extend that router bit so far that the pilot drags on this mat or hits the actual workbench. So I may need to lift this up a little bit, or I may need to hang it over the edge of the table. We'll have to see how far I want to go here with the particular profile that I've chosen here. So we're all set. I'm on my mat. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and plug my router in, make sure it's off first. I've already set my depth of cut. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and run around this outside in a counterclockwise fashion, starting here. I'll do one pass, we'll take a look and see if we like it. If we want to go more, we'll go a little bit more, and we'll stop when we're pleased with the profile that we have. So here we go. Remember, off of the workpiece with the router bit. Make sure we're not hitting anything with the pilot, and we look good there. Hold on, turn it on, and go around clockwise or counterclockwise. All right, that looks good. Looks a little small for me, so I'm going to actually go a little bit deeper here. Now, I was really close to having my pilot and the router bit hit the mat, so I'm going to end up kind of moving this off of the table so that I can get to two corners, zip, zip, and then I'll spin the workpiece and cut the other two corners. Otherwise, I'm going to run this router bit into my tabletop. So we're going to expose a little bit more bit here. Let's go right about there. Okay, now I'm going to start up here and do this corner, and then I'm going to move the router, or excuse me, spin the tabletop and route the other side. Okay, again, I'm going to double check and make sure that my bearing is actually going to contact the board. and we'll be ready to go. Alright, let's see here if we like this. We can flip this over and look at it. That's still not enough. We're going more. Okay, now, if this becomes too unwieldy, okay, and it starts to move on you, you're probably going to want to go ahead and get a clamp to also help clamp this in place while you're cutting. We don't want the piece to move too much while we're actually cutting. I think that's going to do it. All right, here we go again. That's a lot of dust. All right, this should do it here. Am I covered in stuff? All right, I think that's gonna be good. Yeah, I don't think I wanna go any further. I was already kinda at the limit of the pilot depth there. So time to put that top back on. So clear yourself off, no shavings. Okay, retrieve your table. Line your marks back up. And hopefully those screws find the exact same hole they just came out of. All right, let's see what this looks like now. Yeah, I like that. So, we're all routed. Okay, we are pretty much done with the construction of the table at this point. What's left to do finish sanding, and then we're going to apply the finish. So up next, finish preparation.